Hey guys, Todredmi here. So I'm going to be bringing you my honest opinions about Call of Duty Vanguard on the second day of the beta for PS4, the ones who pre-ordered and all that. Starting off, the game itself is pretty good. Don't get me wrong, it definitely needs a lot of work on PS4 Pro though. I can't speak for on how it's going to end up running on PC. I don't know on how it runs on PS5 or the Xbox consoles, but yeah. But there are some pretty glaring issues that I've noticed throughout my 2 days playing the game. And the first one really being the overall visibility on PS4 Pro, especially on Red Star. You cannot see a single person on Red Star. And I think that is mainly due to the snow falling. So it creates like a sort of like blurry, hazy effect, and that ends up making, things blurry, so you can't really distinguish between, which is which. Another thing, why are all the colors in Vanguard so like grayed out? Like, not everything back then was just brown and gray, guys. Put a little bit of color into it. Seriously. Make the game pop. It would also help with visibility. Another thing, the overall performance on PS4 Pro could definitely use some major tweaks, because I can tell that we are definitely not getting complete 60 FPS minimum. Like we on our highs we might be getting 60 FPS, but I'd say it's closer to 45 to 50 for the most part. And I mean, yesterday, just after playing, I was getting a headache because on how framey the game was. I do think that there are a couple of guns that do need a little bit of tweaking, but generally it's just because they seem a tad bit too weak. Or they just don't seem to have enough bullets to really do anything, at least with their base variants, because I haven't unlocked all the attachments. So, speaking solely on their base variants, the Itra Burst, at most, since it is a 5-shot kill at medium range, it takes 2 bursts per person, and in doing so, you can only take out 2 people per mag, assuming that you're not hitting their legs or anything. So of course I know that there is ammo type that helps, remove the penalty for shooting limbs and all that. I don't know exactly on how good that would make the Itra Burst if it has it, but that's definitely an attachment that you get later on. Like, it's one of the ones that take a while to get, so yeah, it really won't help the Itra at the moment. So, I mean, honestly, just increasing the Itra, either the Itra's base damage by just a little bit so it can more consistently possibly get the 1 burst would be nice. So, if you land all of your shots to like the upper torso, head, and all that, you get your consistent 1 burst, and then you can get upwards to 4 people per mag. That would be great, in my opinion. And also, this part might be a little bit controversial, but I think the shotguns need a slight, and I mean very, 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 very slight buff. Specifically to its close range damage, because I can literally be right up next to a person shoot, hit marker. And again, I'm pretty sure that there are attachments that help, negate that, but I'm just talking the base weapon here. And of course, if you do take my input and all that, then of course you'd have to tweak the other attachments as well, but just speaking on a base value, so far those are the only two that I can really see needing possibly some tweaking, just to make them a little bit more viable. Let's see, I talked about visibility, I talked about some guns. Let's just talk about map flow real quick. For the most part, the maps flow pretty well. The only one that I don't really like on how it flows is Red Star. It's just a tad bit too campy for me. Too many spots where enemies can just sit. And combine that with the relatively poor visibility, and yeah, it's just not fun. Also, speaking about seeing things, let's talk about not being able to see. Well, speaking about not seeing things, let's talk about that as well. The statues on Red Star, if you are far enough away from them, they will despawn. It is quite interesting that would happen, because as far as I can tell, nothing else despawns on that map. It's literally just the 4 statues in the center. Suppression needs to go. Honestly, it is a horrible mechanic. I don't know who put in input that, it would be a great mechanic to add, but, ask anyone from, I believe it was the Battlefield 3 days, and they will tell you the exact same. It is a horrible mechanic, and honestly, it awards players for missing, which is dumb. You should be awarded for hitting your shots, not missing your shots, because that will slow down the player that you're shooting at, which will then allow you to more easily hit your shots, which is already being assisted if you're on controller by the rotational aim assist, which will, nudge your aim over within a certain bubble and all that to help you stay on target and all that. It's just a really stupid mechanic. Please, please, please get rid of it for the actual game. And I'm sure that a lot of devs put in a lot of work on it, but it's really just dumb. Or, instead of removing it, make it not work up close. Because a person can literally be right in front of me, missing the shots all around me, suppressing me. My character will scream out, "I can't move! I'm suppressed!" and all that. And then I die because of it. Make it so that it only really affects longer ranges. Where you're not really trying to be more accurate at those longer ranges, you're just trying to slow down the enemies and all that, make them not be able to push. Close range, it should not be affecting anything. And let's see. Anything else that I can think of off the top of my head? Not really, but those are my honest opinions about the Vanguard beta. Of course, I will be playing it on PC as well. I'm currently playing it with mouse and keyboard on PS4, which has great input lag. You gotta love it. But yeah, I hope you guys possibly see this input and, maybe decide to listen to a small content creator like me. And personally, in my opinion, these would all be changes for the better. I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, everyone.